Coming off Winterstoke Road here, that's the main way into the new stadium. I think it's only when you see the steel go up you begin to see the whole scale of the stadium, how it's going to develop and what its relationship is to the old stadium.
And I think many fans will be surprised at how quickly these steelworks are going up. 9 weeks this steel work is actually going to take for this south stand. We've just watched these stairs going in. It is all going to be here before we know it.
It is. The nature of these projects is there's an awful lot of time when nothing appears to be happening. You're clearing the ground, the demolition, you're laying in the groundworks and so on, and the piling, and then all of a sudden the steel starts to go in a matter of weeks. It's right there in front of you. So the next sort of, as you say, 7 to 8 weeks is going to be very exciting.
And then, of course, the big question for fans is what's actually going to be in this south stand. Just talk us through some of the key things that we're going to see in the south stand.
Yeah, well, so far the design team's been very, very focused on getting the real basics done, the fundamentals, the concrete, the steel and what have you. So we're now going into that phase of finalising the internal design, which we're going to do in consultation with the fans of both clubs throughout that process. But essentially the building blocks are new bars, restaurants, particularly on this southwest stand here, a museum, a very large shop, the concourses with new concessions, and there's a lot of ideas being bandied around for those. And then in the far southeast corner there over towards the Dolmen, we're going to have Community Corner, and that's where the community trusts are going to run their businesses from.
And you've talked about some of the internals there, the double-heighted sports bar as well. We can see a few of the images of that. It's really going to be quite an impressive space for people to come.
It is. We think we've got about 260 people seated in that space on the ground and the mezzanine floors. Giant screens in there, so a proper conventional sports bar. And of course, beside that will be a coffee shop and the shop leading off that.
And this is just phase 1. Phase 2 just around the corner, the other side of Christmas, and then the big one, phase 3.
Yeah, I mean the Dolmen, the phase with the Dolmen's going to be it's full of challenges, of course. When you're rebuilding a stadium and you're still playing matches on a Saturday and a Sunday, then yes, that presents challenges. But we've got a pretty good plan, and we're hopeful that that's going to work effectively. And then next year, 2015-16. The West Stand, nearly 11,000 people in that stand, a very big structure. And again, I think when people start to see that come out of the ground, they'll really get a feel for what the stadium's going to look like.
Yeah, it's a very fast project. This we started in the end of June this year with a demolition of the existing Wedlock stand. It's been very hard work to get to this stage, so we are very, very happy to get to the steel on site date, which is a big milestone for us.
Well, it's fascinating to watch. We've just stood watching the precast concrete stairs going in, a section of them. How difficult is one of these projects to do on an existing site?
It is very complicated. The construction projects are generally complex in their nature, especially stadiums. So to actually build effectively a new stadium on the site of an existing one and keep it all running at the same time is a fairly major challenge.
And obviously we've seen a big change over the last week, indeed, since the steelwork arrived last week. But what can fans expect to see over the coming weeks and months? Just talk us through how quickly everything will go up.
Okay, so at the moment what we're looking at is the structural phase of the project. That's the structural steel going in, as you've just said, the stairs are going in, and the next phase in probably the next two weeks or so we'll start seeing the actual terracing going on to the front where the fans will actually be sitting in the future. That phase is going to take us through to the end of January, so the main structure will be up by the end of January with the new roof structure going on around about that point. At that stage, a lot of the work that we'll be doing won't be visible anymore because it'll all be the internal fit-out work which will be going ahead, and that will take us up till July of next year when we hand over the Phase 1 South Stand to Bristol Sport for their use.
All ready for the first whistle of the first football game, season 2015-16?
Absolutely, we're all looking forward to that, and I hope they keep winning.